All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Lou Kerner, and welcome to DAIA's April Agent Showcase. Uh, again, we always start with our mission at DAIA, and our mission is to foster the development and proliferation of decentralized AI agents through education, activism, research, and events. And I think we're executing against those things pretty well. We've got three great showcase presenters today. We'll start with Redwood North, and they're talking about the BitTenter ecosystem, and then two of our members, ChainAware and Tempora Labs. But first, we'll give a brief membership update. If there are any new members on the call, it'd be great if you introduced yourselves, or if you haven't introduced yourselves yet on one of the earlier calls, please do so. And if any of our members have an update about something that they're doing that they'd like to share with the community, that's the time to do it. We'll then go over some DAIA updates, get to the main part of the show, which is the agent showcase. And each of our presenters will be presenting for 6 to 8 minutes, leaving 6 to 8 minutes for Q&A. And if we have any time left at the end, we'll have an open discussion. The statistics side, we're now at 205 DAIA members. It's up 14 in the last month, so the growth is accelerating. We called our first 200 members founding members, so started the other five. And now, if there are any new members here who haven't introduced themselves before, just raise your hand, or everybody's got an open mic. Luca.
Hey Lou, thank you. Thank you. So yeah, Luca Cermelli from Horizon Labs together with John Camardo that is here on the call with me. I've already joined also the Telegram group. So I lead the product marketing here at Horizon Labs, and you may know us as a team. We have been working for many years in the Web3 industry. Now we are working on
Yeah,
something
you guys are
else.
OGs.
Yes, since I joined Horizon Labs when the team was founded back in, well, it was 86 or 7 years ago, something like that. And now after, having built protocols, we keep doing that obviously, but we are also building something new here, infrastructure at the intersection of Web3 and the agentic economy. So looking forward to share about more about that soon with you guys, and excited to be here. Thank you.
Well, it's yeah, great to have you here, Luca. And also, everything comes around, goes around, and Alan Dumaine, who's one of the main folks working with me at Crypto Mondays and at DAIA, was also with Horizon Labs for a number of years. So it's nice to have you back as part of the family. Any other new members or other folks want to introduce themselves? All right, hey Valley.
Hey, not exactly the new member. I already joined one of the calls and really like the presentations, but nevertheless, I will introduce myself.
Yeah, what
I'm
what what call
working.
were you on?
Uh, can you repeat that question? I
No, do you
think there
remember who
was.
the presenter was for the call you were on?
Uh, I think the open router.
Yep.
Yeah, that,
Yeah,
that
she,
was a
she was
really cool
great.
one.
That was like in the early days of OpenClaw.
Yeah. So I'm with the team Amadeus. Right now, we are building the infrastructure for agents. It's like the embedded chat that any client can add to their web page and how the access to like the newest features and automations. So besides that, I'm the technical guy. I'm super excited with everything new that is in crypto and AI space. So nice to meet you all.
Great to have you. Anybody else? Okay. Any of our members want to announce anything that they've got going on or coming up? Well, I'll start and somebody can follow if they want. Crypto Mondays is releasing our Agent Monday in beta, uh, hopefully later this week or next week. And if anybody would like to sign up, again, it's our community management AI agent. You can go to cryptomondays.io and scroll down the page, and you'll see this early access to AI agent form. So, any of the other members have anything that they'd like to share?
I'll jump in as one of the new people here. But I'm
All right.
John. I'm the guy that Luca mentioned before. I lead the product team at Horizon Labs, and we're pretty close to releasing. We can share the link with you all. It's kind of in alpha mode, sort of like I don't know, the word is escaping me right now, but we're not super sharing this on socials or anything right now, but we'll share it with the link with
It's
you
in
guys. But
stealth.
stealth is the term that I was looking for. Thank you very much. We're building a registry for AI agents that can verify some mathematically verify proof of their outputs. So we'll share that around with you and would be interested if anybody's kind of interested in working with us on that. It requires some tech lifts to kind of produce a ZK proof of your agent's outputs, but we think we think it's a really interesting idea and will help, people become aware of what your agent's doing and its output history. So we'll drop the link in a few minutes.
Yeah, and I think it's a testament to DAIAA and the work we've all done that great companies like Horizon are coming and joining. These guys are really some of the thought leaders in the space, in the ZK space, which I think is a foundational layer of everything that's going to be happening in crypto. Any other members want to share anything or introduce themselves? Okay, then. Let's see, we can get back. Let's see, DAIAA updates. The next DAIAA meeting is May 4th. That's the general meeting. We do not yet have a featured guest for that. This month's featured guest, George Zhang from Near, I thought he was terrific. And so you're looking forward to getting somebody great. If anybody has any suggestions, feel free to DM, put them in the chat. You can DM me directly or share it with everybody. It'd be great to get some suggestions. Um, and also, if any of the members are going to be at Consensus, a lot of the team members from Crypto Mondays and around will be there as well. And we'll be hosting a Crypto Monday Miami on May 4th, Star Wars theme. And lastly, the next showcase is on May 18th. And I think, Eric, I've got you signed up for next month. So looking forward to that. And so generally, we try and get 3 folks to present at each of the showcases. So if any of the other members or anybody else on the call would like to present, let us know. Uh, and that's now we're on to the show. I think we'll start with Redwood North, then ChainAware, then Tempora Labs. So Martin, thanks for sticking around, and Kevin, thanks for sticking around. And I'd like to turn over to Eugene. The floor is yours.
Right on. Thank you so much, Lou and Eric, for having me. And my partner, Julian Brand, just joined the call.
Hey everyone, how's it going? Nice to meet you.
All right, hey Julian, we had people just quickly introduce themselves, and so you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks so much. I'm the founder of Redwood North, and we have Eugene, who's a managing partner. I was friends with the BitTensor founders, actually kind of before they started it, and I've kind of watched this whole journey go down. And it's been really exciting to see just kind of the adoption and natural growth of BitTensor. With no pre-mine, no VCs, and thousands of builders around the world, all building cutting edge frontier technology on BitTensor. It's been pretty exciting. And from kind of deep within it, I could say that having been in the crypto industry for 7 or 8 years, I haven't seen anything with as much kind of organic growth. I would argue even more than yeah, potentially Ethereum at this point. There's a lot of really organic growth happening. So yeah, I'm excited about the ecosystem, what's happening. Eugene and I are working together with the founders to create an accelerator program because our goal is to create more great subnet teams within BitTensor. We produced the first hackathon at Frontier Towers. It was kind of the first ever like official in-person BitTensor hackathon, and we brought some amazing teams to the table there.
Frontier Towers is the hot shared workspace in San Francisco. I'm actually a
Exactly.
member.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, so
Yeah,
that was great.
I'll be there later today.
Same here. Maybe I'll see you there.
Huh?
Awesome. Well, yeah, anyway, so that's a bit of background and very excited about the ecosystem. Happy to kind of answer any questions and explain about kind of how the network works or anything like that. And Eugene, if you want to take it from here.
And Jillian, where you calling in from?
I'm in San Francisco right now, flying to New York tonight for an institutional crypto conference.
Yeah. What
Yeah,
conference?
it's at the Metropolitan Club. It's thrown by Carmo Ventures, I believe.
Huh, okay. That's wild that there's so much stuff going on, RWA stuff going on in New York that I wouldn't even know about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amazing. Thank you, Julian. So I shared a couple of links in the chat as resources for you guys and gifts to follow along on the presentation. And first, I'm just going to do a very high level overview of what is BitTensor.
So right now we're looking at your LinkedIn page.
Correct. This is
Okay.
where I have just a brief post summarizing the high level of what is.
Okay, just wanted to make sure that we were in the right place.
Um, so it's a decentralized AI network incentivized on the blockchain. And essentially, instead of hiring a close team of employees or, sweat equity co-founders, an AI startup has decentralized miners around the world doing work for them. So essentially, a startup, which is called a subnet or subnetwork of the main network in the BitTensor ecosystem, defines a list of tasks to be done and their QA criteria, and then permissionless freelancers worldwide compete to perform or mine the task, and the blockchain pays the best work. They get rewarded based on quality, so there's always competition and upward pressure on the quality of the work, the value of which the startups pass on to their market and customer segments. So it was actually modeled after Bitcoin, and the simple analogy is that whereas Bitcoin is proof of work, where miners essentially solve math puzzles to get paid, BitTensor is proof of useful work. They looked at Bitcoin and said, okay, the contest component worked exceedingly well. Let's apply that to AI and make the mining programmable. So essentially, the miners contribute not just compute, but intelligence on BitTensor for these general use cases. So now I'm going to jump into
It's
the.
it's 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 the solving for what's useful that's the challenge.
Exactly, exactly. So hopefully throughout the course of the presentation, through the three subnet use cases that we'll jump into, um, this will be clear in terms of how they solve that using, well, I'll just jump into the second document right now, using the right mix of the 7 value factors in terms of where the decentralized AI um, can compete with centralized AI. So I'm sure you all know this. It's a sophisticated group, but just to get everybody on the same page, across the 7 factors, decentralized AI competes with centralized AI on cost, quality, and speed. However, where access, uptime, and transparency and privacy is important to the user, it's an inherent win. And that will be fundamental to the 3 use cases I'll go over across these 7 factors for the 3 subnets that I will present. So I shared this document in the group. And at the end of this document is just some resources and links if you want to jump into BitTensor and perhaps start building something. Um, and right now, we have the BitTensor subnet output taxonomy linked in here, which is this spreadsheet that I shared in the chat. And this is a high-level overview of all 128 subnets currently on the ecosystem. The 128 as a hard cap, and over time, you know, the governance will enable more. So it's across 22 verticals, and here are the market segments, and here is the work that the miners do for these startups. And on this tab is just a category breakdown of the AI infra being built on BitTensor. Couple of links here. So Tau Stats, and I'll jump into that here, is the primary sort of explorer for BitTensor. Not just a block explorer, but like the business model and the nature of every business on BitTensor across subnets, which are, again, the startups or the founders, the validators, which do the scoring or the quality assessment of the work produced by the miners for the subnets, the quality criteria of which is defined by the subnets. Okay. And during this demo, we'll look at three subnets. We'll look at Shoots, which is number one on the list in terms of market cap. We'll look at number two, Targon, and we'll look at number seven, Ridges. So I am going to jump into that in a second and just show you one more thing that on CoinMarketCap, BitTensor can be found under TAO, the currency of the network. Okay. So jumping into the
And
first.
is there a place to go to see, all the different coins in the ecosystem from, those that have ICO'd? Yeah, there you go.
Yep. So basically, the way that it works is there's the main network, and Tau is the main currency, and every subnet has their own token called an alpha. So if someone wants to invest in a subnet, they basically convert their Tau into the alpha token of the subnet. And if that subnet does well relative to other subnets, then when they convert it back to Tau, it'll be worth more than their original market value of their Tau. Um, that's the basic gist. I can go deeper into like the governance and the protocol and the economics of BitTensor if you'd like me to, but for the purposes of the goal of this webinar and limited time, I'm gonna jump into explaining what value each of these subnets provided to the market and how they use BitTensor to accomplish that and achieve market traction that's considerable. So the first one is Ridges, incentivized agentic training. So we're going to go through the product strategy, what the miners do, but ultimately we're going to get to here, those 7 factors and what they did. Okay. So I'll just give everyone a chance to kind of, so the pain that they solved is recurring maintenance work that dominates engineering headcount cost. They replaced AI engineers, AI for engineers, tools with end-to-end AI engineers. Okay, so long story short, they scored 80% on the SWE coding benchmark, the same benchmark on which Claude is rated. And at the time that they achieved this, it was higher than the performance of centralized AI and Claude. And they did it at 2% of the cost versus centralized AI. With the mechanism to actively optimize the speed. And again, the quality is where they actually outcompeted versus centralized AI at lower cost. And in terms of like the 4 factors that are an inherent win for decentralized AI, permissionless entry, any developer competes. So like the miners, for the payout without having to be hired, they can just permissionlessly connect and start submitting work toward the tasks that were defined for the coding benchmark. So this was sort of like their model, their priority across the 7 factors: cost, quality, transparency, access, speed, privacy, uptime. And here, if you want to deep dive into Ridges, this is their Tau stats page. I'm going to jump into the next one. Shoots, serverless compute.
And just real quick, so that and I saw the FDV it said was 140 million. Is that yeah?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, just trying to get a sense of kind of the scale relative of kind of the subnets relative to Tau itself.
right. And market cap right here. So they're ranked number 7 on BitTensor in terms of overall market cap.
Hmm.
Let's see. We have Shoots as number 1, so let's look at Shoots. Serverless compute. So this is interesting. They were the first subnet to reach 100 million market cap, and they did so being 50 times cheaper than centralized AI for solving the pain of expensive model inference with the hyperscalers. And essentially, beyond the cost savings, they had great uptime. They competed on speed. This was their priority factors. So 50x cost cut on inference versus centralized, where centralized providers have no moat beyond capital.
And is there any sense of um, kind of what volumes they're doing, like this, the scale of the usage?
9 trillion total tokens processed. 696,000 users.
Wow, okay.
Not bad.
No.
Yeah, that doesn't suck. Yeah. Um, I'll jump into the next one, and here you can kind of check out Shoots FTV
Well,
400
sure.
million.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Market cap 99. Wow. Okay, cool. Templar, holy grail of decentralized AI training. Oops. Uh, my
Yeah, I
apologies.
just, my guess is
Recording in
there could
progress.
Oh, sorry. I meant to say
Eugene, you're on mute. Been on
oh,
mute.
can you hear me now?
Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, we haven't heard you since you got to this page.
Okay, cool. So decentralized GPU marketplace, Raptum TVM, and essentially solving the pain of hyperscaler centralized GPU rental is capital inefficient and requires trusting the provider not to inspect the weights or data. And they remove the trust inception and the cost structure simultaneously. So, any more highlights here? So they went on privacy, hardware tested confidentiality. It's the only subnet where privacy is the lead claim. That's interesting. So they fully prioritized privacy and won on that. And then cost.
So we've got just a couple minutes before we
Yeah.
got to move on. So I don't know if there's anybody. I just want to offer if anybody from the audience has a question, raise the hand and see if anybody does, and you can finish off in the meantime.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, appreciate everyone taking the time to listen
Oh, oh,
to a little bit
yeah,
about this.
Sam, you got a quick question?
Yeah. How do we learn more about the Bit Tensor Accelerator program that Julian mentioned earlier?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I guess like kind of in the essence of time, wanted to share my email. It's Julian at redwoodnorth.io. And so yeah, kind of business wise, what we're up to is we're helping institutional investors place capital within BitTensor. We're helping subnets scale by bringing in investment resources, GPUs, things like that. So we're kind of deal making throughout the ecosystem. Yeah, we're partnered with the Commons Open Tensor Foundation, the largest funds, things like that. If you're interested in launching a subnet, you can reach out to us. We could potentially plug you into one of our accelerator programs. Transparently, we are working with some large companies that want to launch subnets and, earning a fee for that, like an ongoing fee for that, as well as different funds that were educated about BitTensor. So that's kind of our business model. In addition, we are launching, this accelerator program. The vision is to basically have ongoing accelerators, and then culmination in like a global BitTensor Accelerator Day, where teams across the world are 12 different countries. So that's kind of the main vision. So yeah, if you're interested in working with us or finding out more, Julian at redwoodnorth.io. And yeah, really appreciate everyone listening to the presentation.
Okay. Well, terrific. Well, thanks a lot, Julian, and thanks a lot, Eugene. And you guys should consider becoming members.
We'd love to. Thank you for having us.
Okay, Martin, you're up next.
Hello, let me share my screen. Okay, entire screen. Click.
And Martin, you were saying earlier that you're dialing in from Switzerland?
Yes, yes. Can you see my screen?
Let's see. Right now, I'm just seeing me on.
Okay,
your
that's
yeah.
that's correct. So, okay, so I'm co-founder of ChainAware. So we launched the first products in 2023 in February, actually 4th of February. So we had an anniversary, 3-year anniversary lately. Now, and our focus, it's on all of the data. It's on the agentic growth infrastructure. It's creating growth agents, not the growth agents in the sense of CAC, customer acquisition costs, and the growth agents in the sense of LTV, like lifetime customer lifetime value. So, okay, so let me give some background. Now, if you're looking on the dApps or if you're looking at the agents, of course, BitTensor are a beautiful story, but now in most of cases, CIC is horrific. If you're looking at a Web3, that's a typical case, a typical dApp, no names, 50,000 visitors, 2,000 connected wallet, 100 transacting wallets, and 10 ICPs, ideal customer profiles. Now, you can calculate yourself how huge the CIC is, meaning it's unsustainable. And most of dApps, most of agents will not be sustainable. So, in sense of revenue production. So, because your revenues, okay, simple formula, your CIC should be 3 times less than the LTV, like lifetime value. Now, that's the root cause. It's a mass marketing. Now, behind the Web3, but we are doing marketing, sales, everything like a total Stone Age, like 1930s Madison Avenue. So, because typical marketing, everything is KOL, Infofy, ads, you name it, everything is mass marketing. Everyone is getting the same message. Everyone, everywhere, independently. So, now, and obviously, if you want to fix now the CIC, customer acquisition costs, if you want to fix the LTV, it's a personalization. Our root cause is mass marketing. Let's do the opposite. It's a personalization, meaning that we use the blockchain data and we put agents on blockchain data to interact then with humans or with other agents. Now, of course, obvious results, CSC is going down, LTV is going up. So now, how do we do it? So practically in ChainAware, we are calculating Web3 personas. Now, persona, we can visualize it as like the 22 dimensions, maybe some more, maybe some less now. And we map out every wallet, every persona. Now, we are calculating, not every wallet. We don't calculate dust wallets. We're calculating like really token holders, protocol users, like a cream de la cream, high-value users. That's where I calculate. And for each of them, then we have a lot of predictive data attributes. Let's go here and application. I mean, it's free to use, meaning the regular stuff is free to use. Let me just connect the wallet very fast. Okay, let's go confirm. So, and let's run the wallet analytics, for example, for Vitalik. We announce Vitalik. So, And now we see a lot of data about him, of course, balance, age, and so that's okay. But more important, we see his risk willingness. Is he ready to take a risk or not? His experience level. Predicted trust, that's our AI and ML is then calculating predicted trust. His intentions, what he's doing or what he's not doing as a next. Meaning we are creating these Web3 personas for every meaningful wallet. And we calculate 24/7. Now, how is it used? The 3 use cases here is the one use case. These are embedded in the website. Do you see these blue areas? That's one of the clients, Smart Credit. Let me just switch it here. We see it here better. These are blue areas, and these are self-running agents on your website. They catch the Web3 connection. They know who you are as a person. They create either in autopilot mode, then resonating content, and obviously the CICs are much better here. So the users are getting personalized content which is resonating with them. And that's what agents, real use case, real life agents working, doing, resonating with the clients. Now, but this is just one use case. So because you're saying there are multiple layers. One is then for the tops that we just looked. Now, then we have, I think, 32 ready-made agents to be used. So just integrate open source. And we also have prediction MCP, which makes this all then can be easily integrated. So, but in case of prediction MCP, of course, you have to write the prompts. In case of ready-made agents, the prompts are there. We have skill empty, dynamical discovery. We have X402 support. We have API keys. So it's like everything there for agents to be used or for the dApps to be used. Now, and then just to visualize maybe like the whole idea is very easy. You have predictive data layer. On top of this, a prediction MCP, and then you have tons of agents. Some are specialized on the user interface, like user interface integrated, and some are specialized on other agents. Now, let me just skip into GitHub. These are all like a behavioral prediction MCP, ChainAware prediction, behavioral prediction MCP, and here we have agents like, okay, most of them are of course code related, but we just created lately one. It's ChainAware agent screener. I think it was 3 weeks ago or so. We had a demo here. I think it was a banker bot, and then we had a discussion how to screen an agent. Like how do we can verify trust of an agent? Very simple. Here it is. Here it is. It does everything. So it uses our fraud detection algos, okay, ML-based fraud detection algos, then to calculate the creator address or agent address, to scan it through to calculate reputation score. Everything open source, free to be used. And so yes, we have these 32 agents to be integrated for anyone. Or we have a dApp-based, meaning web user interface-based agents. Web user interface-based agents, of course, very easy to, you just plug them in, and easiest you just let them run in the autopilot mode. Sometimes you notice people don't trust autopilot, but we say, hey, if you're taking Claude in autopilot, it gives you results, you don't believe them. So, but there's also a review mode so that you can review this before like showing this to the real user. So that's a ChainAware. So practically agentic growth infrastructure. And Lou, you asked me as well like about some lessons learned, like a key lessons, like what I can say. Okay, like the 2 lessons, yeah. The one is blockchain data is goldmine. There's so much data, just by easily comparison, clustering, you can gain so much insights. Now, but calculation requires time. It's not so that you're just connecting to some arbitrary wallet and you will get the results immediately. Calculation requires time, it requires energy, and that's why we're pre-calculating. The key personas, the key participants of the network. We are calculating. So, and we keep calculating. So, and the other part that we have noticed, okay, that's more infrastructure problem. That's when agents are calling other agents. We just think load times are high. That's why we just recommend that if others are using our agents, just take the Claude agents, okay, the open source anyhow, and integrate them. Then the speed is a little bit higher. But regarding lessons, it just points the need to have an infrastructure like we call it like not the web server, but web agent server. So very like some agent pooling so that you get the faster processing. Okay, that's ChainAware. So that means the CRUD agents to bring the CSC down, to bring the LTV up. Okay, practically it's to enter the Web3 now, away from mass marketing into the personalized marketing, the same that Web2 did. Now the same, I think Web3 and agents, they had to do the same. So now maybe some questions, please.
Well, I'll start, and if anybody else has, feel free to raise your hand. But when you're running the business, what are the main metrics that you're looking at for saying, sort of like, did we have a good day? Are we doing well?
Oh, okay, so practically, let's go back here on the ChainAware side now. We have here 12 products now. Two of them, or three of them, you have to pay, but the others, they're free to use. Now, the most popular, I didn't have time to explain, like we have a sort of predictive fraud detector, we have predictive rug pull detector. And these are our most popular products for the retail. And but we're, of course, looking how much the rug pull detector is predicting rug pulls before they happen, not after they happen, which is pointless. Always before
What
they
you
happen.
really want to help people find is that rare non-rug pull detector.
Yeah, that's a rug pull. Yes, here it is. It's before it happens, and we don't do contract scanning here. Actually, that's for the retail, the most used product that we have. It's a no contract scanning. It's just an analysis of creator feeder or creator. It's just a pure blockchain analytics, analysis of liquidity providers. And the main idea is like bad actors are not creating good contracts. Now, good actors are creating good contracts. Now, your blockchain address is your business card, and it's so much you can deduct out of this. So, and this is very much used. Okay, transaction monitoring. Okay, you all heard about this Aave case, for example. Transaction monitoring would have blocked the Aave, famous address very easily doing this funny transactions. So I think it was lending. It had a tornado history, 5 transactions, and borrowed 260 million. So, okay, but from business, like we are looking at from 2 point of view. From one side, we are selling the APIs, like API access, like the MCP and so on. And from other side, we look very much like the people are using this free tech, like the wallet analytics. Oh, we have token analytics as well, like a token rank. Okay, the rug pull detector. So like we have token analytics is then running a full analytics, behavior analytics on token holders. Because you have like a long rug pulls. Long rug pull is like something like, it's pushed up by InfoFi, pushed up by KOLs, but all the holders
What was
are
that crazy
beginners.
one that happened? The Rave DAO? Did you see that?
Sorry, can you say again?
I said, did you see Rave? Is it Rave DAO? I think it was. It was some, Chinese. I'm not quite sure exactly what it was, but you got up to billions of dollars, and then and then
quite possible, yes.
I forgot who it was that to kind of figure it out that or published something about exactly what was going on, and the next day it was down 95%.
Yeah, exactly. It's like let's take care, like for example, let's take care. Okay, now we're getting a little bit aside from analytics, but we're offering this from most popular tokens. So you see, it's a token holders. Who are the token holders? Not what is the white paper? What are the products? Others are doing it. We say, what are the holders? How they are behaving? Because from this you can conclude very easily. Is it a long rug pull? Okay, short rug pull. We have a separated technology for the short rug pull. So practically we offer a lot of technology which protects the regular Web3 users. By the way, let me just add this data, like we're just running a calculation. And Saturday and Sunday, you take a PSC only like 6.3 million
Right.
rug
But this
pulls,
should be
one-sided.
integrated into wallets, right? So you before you buy some.
6.3 million on the BSC chain only 2 days, one-sided, like a USDC, BNB, and so on. So, and like when people are getting like they're speaking of DeFi hacks and so, there's of course a huge discussion. Okay, someone hacked for 1 million or so, but I mean, just in 1 day 3 million, or in 2 day weekend 6 million, like a rug pulls on one exchange. Okay, but now I'm getting a little bit sidetracked. We have very many products.
So yeah, we just got a couple minutes left. So yeah, get back to the talk. if you want to finish
Maybe
up. Yeah.
some questions about agentic, but we are saying the main use case that we're offering to businesses, this is then the growth, and just to get out of this mass marketing cycle, because you have blockchain data, you have blockchain wallet, and if you have wallet, you have a persona. If you have persona, you know how to interact with the persona, and if you interact with persona, you will convert them with much higher probability than via this standard mass marketing, which is just a way to
Certainly
burn
makes
money.
a lot of sense. So cool. You want to leave the contact info in the
Oh, yes, I'll put it in the
chat?
chat. Mhm.
Okay.
Okay,
Terrific.
so thank you.
Thanks, Martin. Kevin,
Yeah. Hey,
you're up.
hey, Luke. Sounds good. Go ahead and share my screen.
Is it freezing in DC? It's freezing in New York every.
It was really windy, but not anymore. It's just kind of weird weather going on. Cool. Are you guys able to see it okay?
Yes.
Sweet. All right. Yeah. Hey, everyone. It's Kevin from Tempora Labs here again. I'm a long time member of DAIAA, and I'm known Lou for a long time back in the New York days, etc. So I'll be presenting more about the high level aspects about building DAI products. And then the goal is some of the lessons that we have learned in order to build like products with the intersection of blockchain AI that is high utility, that is useful, and then hopefully that can inspire at least one of us here to be like actually build the like the next iPhone 7. I mean the next iPhone in 2007. Cool. So um yeah. So we are living in so the like the hype around like blockchain and AI um like in my view like kind of like we hit like the peak and now we since like the meme agents era during the 2000 like 2024 2025 so there is that hype and then the like the spark that's happening but now it is now time to see whether it can actually deliver. And then so if you guys heard about the Gartner's hype cycle, it is like this like innovation traverse. There's like this hype. There's a lot of expectations, but because of the high expectation, it went through like the disillusionment. But then it will eventually become the plateau of productivity. And I believe that we are like in the DEAI spaces, like we are around here. But in order to get to the plateau of productivity, my argument is we need to go and actually build products that are high quality, high utility, and high impact. So last year, um, according to Masari, it's like the first inning of the agent economy, where we have a lot of the initial different different agents or different AI infrastructures that kind of came out. Um, so what is the second inning? So first inning, 2025, is more around whether like a lot of these agents or these infrastructures does it work? It's kind of validating the disruptive technology between blockchain and AI. But and then so that is to the first inning, and we actually saw a lot of like the initial products around this year and last year. But now, when we want to get to the second inning, it is more about whether we can actually make these products and make it useful. And in order to kind of get from first to second inning, it is a kind of like a very messy process. There's like so many just like kind of decisions that we had to make, a lot of like architecture design decisions between both Web3 and AI, and that I'm sure that a lot of you guys also have faced a lot of these questions, and so a lot of you guys are also very technical and also building as well. So maybe I can share some of my like kind of my lessons and takeaways from being like deep in the trenches for this. And one of the main takeaways is starting to formulate into more of a process driven approach in order to straighten the line of this messy middle process, etc. So one of the processes that we have been kind of starting to develop is what I call the magic eight loop, which is basically you have like multiple like loops that you kind of have to work together in sync, like interlocking gears. And in this example, is like you have one loop, it's like the engineering loop. I'm sure a lot of you guys here are familiar with, is like from turning this technology, like the stack that you have, and then turning it into a product where you have to like plan, develop, test, and ship, and then kind of iterate that way. And then for those who are more in the like the on the end the edge, like for example, like bit tensor, I presume there's also a lot of like research you have to be done in order to turn this into a workable tech. Um, but at the same time, there is another kind of loop that's happening, which I would call like the product market fit loop, which is whether you can kind of turn this product and then kind of fit it into the market. And then the reason why I call it this magic eight loop is that you have like these two loops kind of running like in tandem and then like running in sync. And that is something that is like, of course, much easier said than done. Um, so I can use like our product as an example of the Magic 8 approach. So just like a quick recap, we're building Dr. Hero. It does a Magentic DeFi investing copilot. Right now we're tailoring it towards individuals. And then for this presentation, I'm just using it as Dr. Hero as a case study. So we have been using the development engineering and then in order to iteratively ship Dr. Hero, like to have many different versions of it. Um, so it's kind of like building out the product. But in addition to that, we are also establishing this PMF loop to get us from the product that we have, which is Dr. Hero, to the market. And then one of the things that we have been doing is just basically showing it to our, customers or testers, etc. And then we have like multiple different like rounds of it, like pre-alpha, alpha, beta. And then the thing that we've done is that we have these different testers, and then we have our own like Telegram group called the Tempora Village, and then we have them as part of this village, and then they can and then be part of and then kind of test Dr. Hero. So when we started out with this, like we were like kind of heads down, we're just building and trying to ship, but we haven't really thought too much exactly about who our ICP actually is, like what's our target market, like how do we actually grow, monetize, etc. So that is kind of like this like journey that we have been through by kind of starting to develop this PMF loop, like just talking with the testers. And initially, a lot of the testers that we're working with are from like different like chains, different applications, etc. Like who would be interested in our product, Dr. Hero, etc. Just mostly either out of like enthusiasm or like interest in the technology, etc. But one of the first discovery like points is to kind of actually establish what our ICP should be. And in this case, we want to target Dr. Hero more towards like the crypto institutional investors, such as like neobanks, crypto funds, like asset managers, treasuries, whoever like owns and manages like invest in a pool of crypto assets in a like a larger institutional scale. And then some of our reasoning was that retail is like it's too early. There isn't that big of a target market. While like on the other hand, like institutionals are having its moment, especially around like RWA. There's actually a lot of TradFi kind of going into crypto and then trying to develop their own like crypto asset products as well. And then also our team has experience in DeFi, so that's where we kind of wanted to orientate ourselves to like crypto institutional investors. So that's like one of the first like like lessons learned for us. And then because of that, we kind of shifted a lot of our like products in order to make it more institutional grade. And then one of the things that we have done is kind of shifting our like UI UX. Originally, we have it as like a TG mini app because it was like the easiest to develop on because like the mini app is already kind of a like the front end info that we can use. But out of a lot of the feedbacks that we have gotten from the PMF loop talking to users, and then we're saying, hey, we want to target to institutionals, and then we have quite a few that said, hey, are you sure like using like TG and mini app is like the best, front end for this? And then we're like, I think you guys are right. We have a point. So that is where we actually started to transition from our front end from a mini app to an institutional web dashboard, which you can see here, which has a chat interface, but you can have different widgets that shows like live portfolio, net worth, all in this dashboard. So it's kind of like a, like a Web 2, like financial dashboard that you can see, and plus with a nice chat assistant. Um, so that is like the transition where we have, and it's also available on beta. I can kind of send you the links to it afterwards if you guys wanted to try it out. So the third discovery that we saw is that like our users, they have a much more they have a much more like much more like a stronger reaction like if you talk about some of the pain points rather than their vitamins. Like in our use case when we're doing like DeFi investing, examples of vitamins are like, oh, what are some new opportunities are there like to kind of boost yields, maximum APYs, etc. Um, on the other hand, like an example of a painkiller or even like a chemotherapy is how do you like not have them like lose money, like too much money? How do you have them like preserve capital? And I believe like there's a quote from Warren Buffett that talks about the number one goal for institutional investors is capital preservation. And then so that kind of goes back again about like who is our ideal ICPs because retails they may be like more like risk seeking and then like more speculative and that's okay. But institutionals are not like that. They focus more on preserving capital, understanding the risk, minimizing losses because they
Makes
may have
sense. Yeah,
access to like figure out that they'll be in the hot seat if something goes wrong, right?
exactly.
So and then
Cool.
yeah. So and then number four is to specialize, find a place to specialize, but then to partner up with others. Like in our example, we want to specialize in building AI agents, and AI is like our strengths, like using AI, LLMs, natural language conversational AI. But in order to build Dr. Hero, like we have to have this entire Web3 stack. Like for example, what do we use to trade swap transactions? Who are our data providers? Actually, who are also our like model providers? Who gives like the trust, accountability, etc. So like in the space like as difficult as DAIA, it takes like a village, to actually build up a product. So that is where, and then so these are the like trust and infra layers, and then these are the different when we're working with a lot of different partners in order for us to kind of cover this area. And we can actually make both of them like your moat. Like it's like our specialty. This is where we differentiate, and also like our network of like partners that we can have, and the strength of it, and the different services that we can leverage, etc. Yeah. So final takeaways is that I mean it's very very easy to like start from the bottom up, just like finding oh this is a really cool technology, and like oh this is OpenClaw or like we're using Eliza OS, and then try it out, build it, tinker with it, and then ship it and find something useful. And that's also like how we operate it, and we still do in some ways. But if you want to have like a product that has like you want to become useful, have high utility, is to start from the top, which are like who are your users, IPE, what is the market, and then also work your way down to the product and then to the text. And then create the processes and then the gears and link them together and interact fast. So it's kind of a like a process to go like top to bottom and bottom to up, like etc. So yeah, that's my presentation. Definitely love to connect. Here's the web dashboard info and then my email. If you're like interested in checking out our dashboard, definitely reach out to me and I can whitelist you and I can send you more information about the this on the slide deck as well. So thanks everyone.
Okay, well, quite the journey, Kevin. And thanks for
Yeah, it's
sharing
been a
that.
journey. Yeah,
Yeah, and my guess is it's just beginning. But
yeah.
thanks a lot for that. Thanks, Eugene, Julian. Thanks, Martin. Yeah, I thought three very distinct and different, but I think all super informative, and there's so much going on. It's fun to get together and hear from other folks and what they're up to. The last minute, anybody else have anything that they want to shout out before we finish up?
Mhm.
One, two. Okay. Well, again, next meeting will be the general meeting, first Monday next month. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.